So math in some ways is like baking, and math used to be taught as a recipe, as a series of steps you do, and then you get a result. And what you understand if you're a cook or a baker is that you add things in certain proportions for a reason, and that, you know, your cake has to have this percentage of fats to this percentage of flour in order to work. And what Common Core tries to do is to do the same thing with math, sort of developing what they call number sense. And number sense is understanding more or less why we do the things we do. Common Core is taught in a way that most people over 20 don't recognize.
We find ourselves tearing out our hair at the new math.
It's the same thing I do when I get a check at a restaurant, draw a bunch of shapes and tell the waitress to find my error.
Parents taking to Twitter, posting unbelievably complicated homework assignments.
These math problems circulate that just seem really nonsensical, which is really frustrating. If you have a kid who has this simple problem that looks like it's being made way too complex for no reason, it's totally understandable why people would.
The Common Core program has stirred up a lot of controversy over the past couple of years. This program has been installed to create standards for math and English throughout elementary all the way to high school. I have chosen to talk about this because I am wanting to go into teaching. Teaching is what I am currently majoring in, and it'll affect my life. There are a lot of problems with this program, even though it may seem like a good thing. First, this program is really difficult for certain students. A lot of students aren't passing their tests because this program is so difficult. As to show an example, this video will help.
To do that. So for example, we all learned to borrow when we subtracted, but this doesn't really show you what you're doing. It doesn't really show you what borrowing is. And so one of the ways the Common Core tries to explain this is with a number line. Because subtraction is really about finding the distance between two numbers. You start with the number you're subtracting, and you take little hops up to a more round number. So you go 10 between 90 and 100. So you've sort of broken down this distance, and you add these numbers together. There's another method called the counting up method, and this is also for subtraction. Count up from 38 to 40. Then from 40, you want to go up to the next big round number, which is 100. Then you need to go from 100 to 300, and then from 300 to 325. So that's the distance between 38 and 325, are these numbers that I've circled. You get this idea.
This video demonstrates how hard this program can be. It's a lot more difficult, and you have to think a lot more than what most students are used to and what I am used to. Students are getting discouraged because they're not passing their tests that are very similar to what was shown in the video, and it is causing their test scores to go down, which makes schools look bad overall. There's also no proof that these tests actually help students prepare for college, because that is what Common Core is all about. So, standardized testing should be relooked at in Common Core because this really is not benefiting the students that much. Cuts are another problem within the Common Core. So lots of schools are losing their staff because of the cuts that have been created. An article on rethinkingschools.org stated that 34 out of the 50 states that adopted this program have lost over 300,000 jobs. That is a lot of jobs just out of 34, not even all of the states. This is because schools can't afford to employ all their staff because they have been cutting a lot of things through other schools. This can cause a lot of problems because there won't be enough staff to teach all of the students that are in their schools. Also within the schools, there has been a lot of private schools popping up because public schools are not wanting to adopt such programs that their states have been implementing through the Common Core program, so they create private schools so they don't have to follow such programs because of the loss of budget cuts and the crazy amount of testing and the programs that have been shown before this. In conclusion, this program can look like a very good thing, but it has many problems that need to be resolved. The use of budget cutting, standardized testing, and these very difficult programs that are causing students to fail and become discouraged is huge, and it needs to be fixed. Thank you.